Hi, everyone. Welcome to Peaceful Oracle. This is your weekly guidance reading for May the 17th up until the 23rd of 2021. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you feel called to do so. You can also ring the notification bell if you want to be updated on whenever I post a new video. Okay, so let's get right into what we have coming up from May the 17th to the 23rd of 2021. Let me get your oracle cards here shuffled. Oh, wow. Okay. Breakthrough. I feel like I've been seeing that word a lot lately. Wow. Okay. So it's pretty clear so far. Okay. And then what do we have for the end of the week? I love how those cards just came out so quickly. I'm seeing that for some of you, you'll have a lot of things coming to light, clarity. There's a lot of that clarity coming through. I feel like there's also kind of like a cleansing of energy. There's this releasing of stagnant, toxic energy that's finally ready to be released. And with that release, we're going to have more clarity around situations. I feel like some of you might be realizing that you're holding on to things that you don't need to hold on to, and you may realize why you're holding on to those memories, those people, certain energies. And I feel like once you see it, it'll be just something that you'll realize like, oh, I don't know why I'm holding on to this. This seems to be not serving me. So I think I just need to let this go. So that's, and I feel like that energy is just going to kind of be there throughout the whole week. I'm hearing that going into June, I'm hearing that May was a lot of prep work for the month of June. I'm seeing that June, there will be a lot more action, things coming into fruition. You'll start seeing, I'm hearing fruits of labor. So in June, you might see more of those tangible successes, tangible outcomes or rewards, or just, the results. You'll start seeing results. I'm also hearing some of you may find out results for like exams, or you may hear back from I'm hearing like interview for a job. So if you interviewed for a job, you may finally hear back from people for in the month of June. Okay, I don't think there's any more cards there. Oh, you got one more. Okay. Got two cards. I feel like those two cards are for the end of the month. Okay, so towards the end of the week, I'm also seeing that some of you might actually be going on a trip, and that's kind of funny how I picked that up on Show Your Support. Maybe there's something about traveling or so I'm seeing that some of you might need to travel to go see a loved one, a friend. I'm seeing that there's like someone might need you this month. You may feel like someone needs you. They need to lean on somebody, and you may be traveling or going to go see them, going out of your way. There's something about going out of your way, doing like an extra token or extra gesture to show somebody that you care, and showing somebody that that their love is reciprocated, your love is being reciprocated back. Something along those lines, something about support. It could be, I am seeing for some of you, maybe you're in a long distance relationship. So there may be someone feeling lonely or feeling kind of like, I really need somebody right now. So taking that extra time to go and see them, or I'm seeing that some of you might be planning on surprising someone surprising someone, especially if you haven't seen somebody in a long time. Seeing like if you haven't seen some family members in a long time, or friends, or like a boyfriend or girlfriend. I feel like there'll be like this. I'm gonna go and see them. So I see that travel, and it's linked up with travel towards the end of the month. So I feel like in the beginning, it's going to be kind of like a clearing, cleansing, prepping for the month of June. And I feel like with the breakthrough in the beginning of the month, some of you may be putting some things that you had planned out with your projects or career, or I'm hearing like creative projects may be ready to be executed. So that's coming up for you in the beginning of the month. And I feel like putting those creative projects, like kind of finishing things up, wrapping things up, and ready to present them to people, you're going to feel like in the picture, it's like this, she has like a weight off her shoulders almost. It feels like there's this freedom, like you've been building, and there's kind of like this release of pressure. So you're finally ready to be like, okay, this is what I'm doing. So some of you might be you're kind of like releasing something. You're not holding things in anymore. So that seems pretty strong for the beginning of the month. And then in the middle of the beginning of the week, the middle of the week with the illumination card, I feel like there will be there's this energy of, okay, so if we go back to the breakthrough card in the beginning of the week, I feel like there's many of you who are stepping more into this place of authenticity. And it may be something that many of you have not really given yourselves permission to do before. It's something that you might not have allowed yourself to do before. And so this is new for you. This is different for you. And that's why probably it felt like such a buildup of pressure, because it's different from maybe things that you've done in the past. So then when we go to the middle of the week, I feel like this illumination card is almost kind of like you're curious to see what people will think and say about who you are authentically. Because maybe up until now, it's been more about being and doing things revolving around what other people expected of you. And now that you're being more authentic to who you want to be and just seeing how people respond, I feel like that will be kind of like, it'll be like this. You may see some responses, like for example, if you have a YouTube channel, or if you're starting like a new Instagram page, or you're selling a product, you may be, finally launching these things, and you're just kind of starting to see people responding, liking your things, all that kind of stuff. So I feel like it'll be this, if you look at her, it's kind of like she's looking out and kind of, I get this sense that she's embodying who she authentically is, and she's waiting to see how the universe is going to respond to that. That's what it feels like. And I'm being drawn to, if you look in this picture here, so it's almost like what I'm seeing is like she's releasing these butterflies. And I feel like that those butterflies are like these, it's like her authentic nature. She's morphed into this beautiful butterfly, right? So there's like she also has these wings. You can call them fairy wings, you can call them butterfly wings, but it's like she's expressing it, she's letting it out. And then you go into this next card, and she is the butterfly. Like if you kind of see like the dress that she's wearing, it's the pattern of like a butterfly. So it's almost like she's letting the butterfly, she's letting herself out. She's expressing herself, and then she's becoming, and by doing that, she is fully embodying who she is. And then she's looking out to see like, okay, well, what will people think of that? And then towards the end of the week, it's maybe okay, so there's a couple of messages. So back when I first put the cards out, there will be that energy of some of you might be traveling, some of you might be going in and, loved ones needing you. There may be some of that meeting up with people who are in need. So lending your hand. or your heart or your shoulder to cry on, something like that, kind of being of assistance to loved ones. But I'm also hearing that in relation to these cards, that you might be okay. Ooh, okay. So you might be seeing that there's more support than you thought would come in. So for like, you may see that more people are interested in whatever it is you're offering. So if it's, you're selling a product, you may find that you got more orders right off the bat than you thought you would. Or if you put out, like if you're starting an Instagram or YouTube, then it's kind of like you may find that you have more views, you may have more responses than what you thought. And I feel like that might be kind of like, I'm feeling like with the acceptance of love with that, it's like, don't be afraid to let that goodness come in. So don't resist it, especially if you're someone who sometimes has a difficult time receiving and allowing people in and allowing yourself to be kind of vulnerable to that. It's like, let people support you, let people be there for you, let people, like accept that good, because I'm hearing that when you do that, it's a reciprocal energy. It's a cyclical energy. So it feels good for the people giving and it feels good to receive. And it kind of generates this momentum forward. But if you kind of, I'm hearing like it's coming in, but you stop it, like you say, like energetically, you kind of resist it because you're uncomfortable receiving, then it may kind of hinder that momentum forward, and feeling like it might kind of stall it, or it may it may be slower moving forward. So so if you have like if there's good reception from what you're putting out in the beginning and the middle of the week, then it's kind of like, enjoy the ride is what I'm hearing. So there's kind of like a double message there with you showing support for loved ones and for other people. And then there's also an additional message with letting people show their support and love towards you, and you allowing that to come in, and allowing yourself to receive. And you can see like she's having her hand out. So it's like, receive, like let yourself receive. And that's okay. It's okay if you're not used to it. It's okay if it's a little bit difficult for you. Just kind of like take it one step at a time. Like you don't have to be full on, in this elated experience of, yes, I receive. Like even if you're a little bit scared to, sometimes it's kind of like just dip your toe in the water rather than just like completely jumping into the ocean. Unless you want to jump into the ocean, you're totally ready to do that. But if you're scared and kind of vulnerable, like you want to do it, but you don't know how, then it's kind of like, just take one step at a time. Like just let yourself just be like, oh, okay, that's nice that people were responding, or I got these orders. That's amazing. That's okay. Just take it like one step at a time. But just be mindful of not completely dismissing because you're afraid to receive. So that was kind of like a strong message that came through towards the end of the week. If you see success or, some response to what you're putting out. So that's amazing. I love that. I love seeing that. Okay, so I kind of wanted to do something a little bit different from what I've been doing these past weeks. I just got this idea this morning. I wanted to do these flower oracle cards for this week. I was going to lay out 3 cards. And I think what I'll do is I'll move these cards up here so you can see the cards a little bit better. And I wanted you to, if you want to pause the video when I put these 3 cards out, to see which one you're drawn to the most. And that will be your card for this week. So let me pick out 3 cards for the week of May 17th. Oh, there's 2. Do one more. Okay, so those are your 3 cards. If you want to pause the video, see which one you're drawn to the most, and take your time, but don't overthink it. Doesn't have to be too complicated. But okay. Okay. So the first card. So if you pick the first card, this is, oh gosh. Okay. Rhododendron. I believe that's how, I'm not sure if that's how you say it. Rhododendron. Compassion. Be kind to yourself. It's time to practice compassion, especially, is it time to practice compassion, especially with yourself? The quality of the rhododendron flower is like being inside a big, soft, pink cloud of love and comfort. It strengthens all kinds of relationships, helps us feel included, valued, and loved. Magnifies understanding, compassion, empathy, motherly love, comfort, warmth, and protection, steadiness, and equanimity. Dissolves feeling cold, alone, out of place, and vulnerable, jealousy, insecurity, despair, and fear of misunderstanding or betrayal. And that actually kind of reminds me of the show your support and acceptance of love towards the end of the week. It's kind of like allowing yourself to soften and allowing people to come in and allowing people to support you, and vice versa, having that really soft, supportive, loving energy towards the end of the week. So I liked how that matched up. Okay, so if you liked the middle card, your message is papaya flower, receptivity, gentle is power. So again, we have reception for the end of the week. Do you have the desire to collaborate instead of compete, yet find it difficult to accept help? Papaya flower teaches us to be collaborative, flourish by attaining a healthy balance of yin and yang qualities in ourselves and in our culture. It balances feminine, masculine aspects, collaboration, receptivity, community, mindset, compatibility within relationships, including parental. And dissolves hardness of character, envy, or refusal to accept help. Wow. I love how these are so matching up so beautifully with the message for this week. Okay. Fears about pregnancy, breastfeeding, motherhood, menopause, and confusion regarding sexuality or sexual orientation. I love that. There's just so much so much energy of just being really okay with who you are this month, and like meeting yourself where you are. Like you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have everything figured out. Just like meeting yourself, like your authentic self with where you are, is what I feel like strongly with that middle card. Okay. And if you were drawn to this last card, the third one, you got giant spider lily. Lightness, lightheartedness, and free your mind. That kind of reminds me of the breakthrough card in the beginning of the week here. Are you craving a sense of freedom and effortlessness? Giant spider lily shines light into our blind spots, illuminating areas of our life that are stagnant or in need of fresh energy. It helps us feel light as a feather, unfettered and free. So it magnifies feeling light, buoyant, and streamlined, effortlessness, simplicity, joy, celebration, and ease. And it dissolves feeling heavy, burdened, getting stuck, worrying so much we stagnate projects. Okay. So, that it seems like a very, what's the word? It's a very expansive week, but also but in a very soft, nurturing, and loving way. Very interesting dynamics. So yeah, I hope one of those cards really resonated with you. And I hope you have a really wonderful week ahead, and I will see you next week. Thanks, everyone.